When people talk about Dark Souls, people often cite the ending as key to the video game's success. Dark Souls does not end in a grand fight between you and some larger-than-life foe, or a satisfying reveal of some sort clarifying questions asked throughout the game. It does neither of these. It purposely ends in an unsatisfying manner as you fight Gwyn in his pathetic state, and proceed to either link the first flame or leave it behind. Before I had been convinced to play Dark Souls 1, I had seen this ending referenced in every review as essential for the overall atmosphere and world of Dark Souls, and in my opinion it is a very effective ending to the world. I guess for me my problem arrives when they did it again in the third game, and it to a degree feels a little redundant. I was thinking about this the other day. When it comes to storytelling, in games specifically, I think of two types. To categorize them, I will refer to one as lore storytelling, where the story a game sets out to tell has already happened, and you are just a being wandering in its remnants. And the other end is an active story, where the game has you play through it as it tells a story. It can still have lore. If that doesn't make a ton of sense, let me explain. In Breath of the Wild, you are in a world where everything has already happened. You and the kingdom already lost, and you uncover all of the history and memories Link has through a side quest. Yes, you conquer 4 divine beasts and slay Ganon, but the more important story is being told in retrospect. And on the other end, you have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It features a child called into an adventure where he opens the Temple of Time, travels 7 years into the future, and has to defeat the evil Ganondorf who has taken over the kingdom. Even though the game plays with time travel, it is in a manner that you start at the beginning and watch as the story unfolds. I like both Ocarina and Breath of the Wild. They're great games and belong on Nintendo's roster of great achievements. When it comes to the difference in storytelling, I'm finding myself more and more disappointed the more games I play that feature this lore retrospective storytelling. Most recently, it was Hollow Knight. I was doing a blind playthrough, and I was enjoying most of it. I'm thinking of doing a review as well, as I do believe the game deserves it. But by the time I had found all 3 Dreamers, fought through an infected early game, I had made my way to the Hollow Knight's tomb. I already knew what sort of a fight it would be. Not the most challenging, of course. A fight meant to depress me, as he turns his own sword on himself, attempting to end his life for me. I don't know. It felt incredibly disappointing. Dark Souls had done it twice now, in my playthroughs, Breath of the Wild as well, and now Hollow Knight had done it. I was tired of this type of climax. It started to feel almost like a cliche. And yes, I know this could be because all I've played recently are games that implement this form of storytelling and lore, item descriptions and the environmental storytelling. But now I'm playing Sekiro, and I can see a clear difference. In Sekiro, there is one area in the game which shows a past perspective, uncovering one mystery as to the night of the mansion's invasion. The rest of the story proceeds in front of the player, and I found it to be much more engaging because the things happened in front of me. In the moments of quiet, I did catch myself curious about the past of the Empire that I found myself in. I think the same thing occurred to me during my playthrough of Majora's Mask, but I don't want to get into that now. While yes, lore-based storytelling provides the opportunity for players to comb through all of this information and uncover every detail they can find and feature in a video, it can still be done when a story is engaged with actively. Here's another comparison. Destiny versus Marathon. This is not about which game is better, it's simply their storytelling. Currently, Destiny just ended, and the story it told finished a light and dark saga. While its adventure was played through by the community, it also features extensive levels of lore. My Name is Biff, for example, focuses his channel entirely around this lore. Marathon, on the other hand, has all of its history and lore of its factions in the past. You salvage in a world where everything has already happened, and you are just there to pick up the pieces. I mean, when I played Marathon, I don't think I read any more of the dialogue after every mission. It was incredibly weak at engaging me. And one last comparison that I really like is The Lord of the Rings. While Tolkien assembled all of the lore, languages, and overall world of Middle-earth before designing Frodo's Walk to Mount Doom, he still created an engaged adventure where heroes fight for a future. The lore and past of Middle-earth is lush with creative world building, and that can be explored after his consumers see a story about the heroes. I guess what I'm trying to say is there are pros and cons to both styles, and I think Firm Software effectively used a retrospective storytelling style to tell the story of Dark Souls. But I am growing a little bit tired of the ever-growing cluster of games that repeat this increasingly cliched style, because the more and more I find myself in these worlds where it feels like the story isn't going somewhere, it becomes more predictable, and almost reduces the immersion I feel in the stories developers are trying to tell. But let me know what your all's thoughts are on this concept. I kind of just threw this video together as I've been playing games this summer, and honestly, if I completely insulted one of your games, I do apologize. Chances are I actually quite like the game myself. I just feel this style of storytelling is becoming more and more overdone.